Hey guys, MasakoX here, and I just want to say that I have a new shirt out on Teespring, which is all about Bulma. I am Bulma Fierce. If you want to make Bulma Fierce too, then check out the link in the description or up top. Now, enjoy the video. You guys! Androids! Hey guys, MasakoX here. If you're living on the East Coast, then by the time this video goes live, it'll be the exact time that the android struck, 9 miles off of South City. From there, we were taken on the journey that resulted in the ascension of the Super Saiyan transformation and the death of the show's main character. Again. However, one of the biggest contributions to that particular arc, aside from the perfection that is Perfect Cell, are the beings that actually helped result creating that creature. The artificial humans. Now, artificial humans have a long history in Dragon Ball. It wasn't just from the Z part of the series. This goes all the way back to the original series and the times and the antics of the Red Ribbon Army and the old days of Number 8 or Eta. Toriyama details this in the second volume of the full-color manga. You know, those big ones that were all in color and they look really cool and I really want one. The heights of Gero's flight of fancy in creating a most advanced artificial being that could take on anything that he commands to take down, as well as the sheer incompetency that ensued. The sole weakness of the genius Dr. Gero's inventions was that personality control didn't work well. So that's believed to be one of the reasons why he changed his methods to using humans, who were bad to begin with, and remodeling them into artificial humans, like number 17 and 18. It was thought that he had succeeded with cyborg types, but ultimately, these were also failures because they wouldn't listen to orders the way he wanted. He reversed course again, and number 19 was his first success. Almost all had problems with personality control. Too dark, too pure, just plain stupid, etc. Oh, commanding humans that were bad to begin with and then they suddenly don't obey orders? Oh my god, Gero, I'm so sorry. I don't understand how that could have happened. Yeah, 19th time's the charm. Yeah, Dr. Gero is not exactly the best of the mad scientists if it takes him 19 attempts to make something that's vaguely subservient and strong. I bet it would have taken Bulma and Dr. Brief just one time to get it perfectly done. I mean, they were able to fix 16 just blindly within a couple of days. That's the sheer ingenuity that Gero should be using, but no. Today, we're actually primarily looking at the 17th and 18th attempts of Dr. Gero's endeavors in creating an advanced android. His own interpretations of Rock'em Sock'em robots, aka Lapis and Lazuli, as confirmed by Toriyama many years later. I really still don't know why the characters in Super don't refer to these guys by their original names, because it should be common knowledge by now. Not even Krillin refers to his wife as Lazuli. I mean, it's kind of weird. Marketing! Sorry. I thought I had that under control. The origins of 17 and 18 can be thanks, I think that's the right word, to Toriyama's editor at the time, Kazuhiko Torishima. Originally, Dr. Gero and 19 were going to be the sole villains of the entire arc. Yeah, Cell wasn't the original villain from the outset. He came down later on, as Toriyama explains. When Artificial Humans number 19 and number 20 appeared, Torishima wasn't my editor or anything anymore, but he specifically called me to say, I thought that the enemies had finally come, but aren't these just a geezer and a fatso? In truth, I hadn't had plans for anyone but number 19 and number 20 to appear, but there was no helping it, so I brought out number 17 and number 18. Then he called me up and said, what, this time it's just some brats? So I brought out Cell. Yep, thanks to editorial meddling, we got some of the show's most enduring and impressive characters. 17 and 18 were reactionary characters to an editorial sticking point. In later years, Toriyama would claim that the decision to make 17 and 18 teenagers was a way to relate to his audience, which was, at the time, and kinda still is to this day, a bunch of teenagers and young adults. Entities of the same demographic as his audience? That's a good idea. 17 and 18 could have just been plucked from the ether from one of you out there. That's a very interesting concept, and I could imagine that being kinda cool at the time. Speaking of teenagers, 17 and 18 inherited, or carried over from their original beings, the desire to rebel and not listen to any rules, man. Both Lapis and Lazuli were teenagers with attitude. The bad kind. They were straight up delinquents with no hopes of being able to integrate with society or do any good for anyone. Enter Dr. Gero. Since Gero had been having trouble with his cybernetic endeavors, which resulted in the creation of number 16, which in turn was the emulation of his son, which was felled in battle by the Red Ribbon Army in age 750, Thank you, Goku. The Doctor needed to think of a different direction going forward. What about instead of being entirely robotic, he just gets a bunch of street urchins off the streets and then use them to his own will? Since Dr. Gero tends to be the stalkerish surveillant type, you know, those bugs that he kept an eye on the Z-Fighters on and mapped their powers, I mean, so he could create the artificial humans in the first place, he would have been keeping an eye on people that would have fit his description just nicely. He would have spotted Lapis and Lazuli causing trouble, and for him, they would have been perfect. After all, nobody would mind if they were to just disappear one day, now would they? In fact, Gero would be doing the people a service. Yes, let's do that then. It was his civic duty to rid the world of these pests, only to bring them back later on and making them stronger, but still civic duty! Naturally, being delinquents, the pair wouldn't have taken kindly to the idea of being turned into walking and talking robots. I can imagine 17 found it slightly interesting, but I imagine 18 would have brought him back to his senses. Despite their protestations, the good doctor turned them into his experimental guinea pigs. This proved to be both good and bad for Dr. Gero. It was good because they could prove effective in his quest of killing Son Goku. In terms of their desire for destruction and causing trouble, that's good. They've got the mentality of being destructive. Excellent. I don't have to program that. It was bad because they remembered an innate desire for breaking the rules and not listening to authority, and Dr. Gero is now their principal authority. You know where this is going. 17 and 18 constantly railed against people that told them what to do. And so they did. Oh well! Now instead of just removing their enhancement and then just chucking them back out into the cold with their memories wiped or something, just leaving them to their own devices again, no, Gero decided to shut them down for some reason and keep them there. I mean, if they were a complete and utter failure, then why keep them? His cyborg plan was a dud, so he went back to something he already knew. Creating artificial robots. That went so well, but it kinda did. We got number 19. Yeah, truly distinctive and original and popular character. Man, what a tough break. Despite these kids being true utter delinquents, they were stripped of their humanity, and that's no good. They were just turned into drones to just enact the whims of a mad scientist. Luckily for them though, the human spirit is a tough nut to crack. Not all of their human traits were removed though. Remember, they are cyborgs, not robots. How do they exactly function in the Dragon world? I mean, what's the difference in Toriyama's land? Well, the creator explains. Since they're human-based, of course, they can become even stronger if they train. In the case of modified human types like number 17 and number 18, since they're human-based, they can become stronger if they train. By the way, though they don't need to eat, they do need to hydrate. Also, their cells deteriorate slowly, so they age slowly too. Okay, Masako, you've been explaining and reading quotes. What makes 17 and 18 so great then? Like I've been saying, these guys started off as delinquents because nobody cared about them. You know how kids don't listen to authoritative figures when they're young, they just do whatever they please? Most children outgrow this phase, but some don't. They don't. They, like those children, relished in rebelling and causing havoc to anybody that would dare tell them what to do. They would only continue to do it because that was the only way that people would pay attention to them. It's negative attention, of course, but still, at least somebody's acknowledging their own existence. That's kind of sad and counterproductive, really. All they needed to do was just open up, be honest, treat people with respect, and they might have escaped the fate that they actually got in Dragon Ball. Or maybe that incident was the best thing that could have happened to them. As we know, we have been treated to two different sets of 17 and 18 in the show. One set being unstoppable killing machines, and the other set much less so. Despite their prime mission objective of killing Son Goku being dead already, that didn't stop them killing people, they just turned their attention to the public at large. Which then gave us the whole Trunks time machine plot device. Which could only be a good thing in terms of our entertainment, but a really bad thing for the people of Earth in the show. I mean, you know, it's a bit conflicting how to feel. Both sets of cyborgs were teenage punks, but one was far more adept at killing people than the other. In fact, I think our own set of cyborgs didn't kill anyone in the entire show. Fast forward to the end of the Cell arc. 18 has regained consciousness and 17 has been revived thanks to the Dragon Balls. They also have had one of the most artificial components of their being removed, the bomb that was implanted inside of their chest. With that removed, they were totally free. Devoid of any control, they could do whatever they want. They actually got a little bit of their humanity back, which they thought they'd lost forever. Somebody had given them a chance a chance to do something good with their lives and to start anew. As for 18, well, we pretty much know what happened to her. She shacked up with Krillin and they had a daughter together. 17 and 18 ultimately had children of their own, and that means that they still had the all-time #1 human attribute. I think you know what I'm talking about. In any case, the removal of that bomb essentially made both 17 and 18 human again. They had no master, the order to kill Son Goku was now null and void, and they now had their whole lives ahead of them, now greatly extended. Now we didn't see much more development for them in Dragon Ball Z, but that all changed in Dragon Ball Super. Krillin's extension of friendship and an actual showing of humanity to her back in the Z Saga had truly blossomed into something wonderful in Super. She used to be cold and ruthless and actually rather vulnerable, but all that changed. She was now much more confident, assured, relaxed and, happy. Krillin had shone some light in her life and just gave her some clarity, a chance to just start again, a chance for a normal life. Well, as normal as you can get dating a minor major character in Dragon Ball. And for those thinking that she's been nerfed and pushed into the background just to be a housewife and a mother, and everything's just getting all sexist and something, but I think you should just hold your horses there. Yeah, the Universe Survival Arc called, they want to talk with you. Same goes for 17. 17 was relegated to being a cameo at the end of the Buu Saga to lend Goku some energy for the big spirit bomb thing. But don't worry, even back then, Toriyama had plans. Those plans were visualized, finally, in Dragon Ball Super. 17 was the sole park ranger of an island filled with unusual animals. The show's version of Dr. Dolittle. He was a relaxed soul which had gotten everything he could possibly wanted. A family, a good job, a chance for some solitude every now and again. It was perfect for him. The days of them being a pair of no-hopers were truly and utterly behind them. Now that's quite the change in direction. Going from teenage hooligans to some of the strongest and most liked characters in the series. They both got what they wanted in life, ultimately. A family and a job/lifestyle that catered to their needs and desires. It makes me glad that the show's creators nowadays haven't forgotten about the potential that these characters can exert. In fact, they've maximized their potential by including them in the Universe 7 Universe Survival Arc team. Remember, no one can sense their energy. They're still cybernetic in some way. They got that big advantage. They ain't cameos, and that makes me so happy. So what do you guys think? Do you think 17 and 18 have changed in Dragon Ball? What would you like to see them accomplish still? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!